Hello, Majid. How are you, dear? Avatar. Hello, Avatar. Remember, guys, Majid, you're in UK. I think I know. And you're 23 or you're 31? Either one. Avatar, where are you located and how old you are? I forgot. Oh, yeah. Looks like notifications work okay now. Oh. Okay, Majid. We're here. Ah, 32. Okay, I was kind of close. 36 Avatar, male UK. Thank you. Hello, Ross. Thank you. King of what? Ibsy Ibs. Challenging screen names. Hello. It's probably around what, 10 or 11 o'clock in UK. Or no, probably 9:30 or 10:30. One of the two. Thank you, Ross. Now these are difficult names today. DHMI, DHML. Says, I made it. Hello. I'm glad you made it, DMHL, but give me a name and remember where you're tuning in from, how old you are, and if you're a man or a woman. These are protocols that I need to have a kind of an idea who I'm talking to, where they are coming from, and so on. And is it the first time you're joining us, DHML? It's like a programming code, HTML, DHML. David, hello, male 23, Dallas, Texas. Thank you, my dear friend who is always precise on the introduction protocol, even though we know him by heart now because he's done it so well. Ross says it's 9:36 p.m. in UK. Ah, okay, then that must be 1:34 here, 1:36 or 9:34, either one of the two. Ross says 30 UK must be 20th time. Ah, yeah, Ross, I know. But we're talking about DHML. And well, we know you've been here many times. DHML says, yes, this is my first time. There we go. At least I can tell from the screen names. But a long-time viewer. I'm female, 29, Arizona. Okay, closer to home. And Ross says, feel like I know you like a brother. Well, I'm delighted that you feel that way, Ross. It is wonderful. Now, Majid says, what are your thoughts on Jordan Peterson? He has 12 rules for life. Very interesting. I know of Jordan Peterson, and I know he's very educated and very intelligent, and some of his lectures and things must be very interesting. I don't know too much about him, but I do know the stories and the challenges that he faced and how eloquently he speaks and so on. I have not, not familiar with his book, but I know he has a book out. That's the extent of my knowledge about Jordan Peterson. It's how is the lighting at your end, guys? I had to kind of control the amount of sun ray we get here because there's too much light, I guess. Hello, Stefan. Says hello, Mehran from Connecticut. Thank you, Stefan. Stefan, remind me, please. You're 28, are you? Am I remembering it right? Or are you 21? It's hard to remember. Now, Ross says, do you agree with Elon Musk, who believes that by 2030, artificial intelligence will be as intelligent and have as much consciousness as humans? I am not privy to that kind of information, detail, research. I am not an expert in that field to know how far the artificial intelligence have come to surmise that, or to think that by 2030 they would have as much consciousness as humans. But I doubt it. It's just the way I see it, but I don't have any scientific data to back it up, but I haven't seen enough, and I haven't come across or researched enough to know if such evidence exists right now to back up what that claim that you mentioned is all about. DHML says lighting is very good. Okay, good. I have cleaned up my computer from all the extra files, but I still have a lag. I think there are lots of edited videos that I've done on the iMovie, and I tried to delete them yesterday, tried to copy them first, and my auxiliary memory disk didn't have enough space to house all those videos on the iMovie, so I couldn't delete them before I copied them. So that means I should eventually get a new one. It's a terabyte. I wonder, I filled it up already. So I have to do that, and then perhaps we'll have a little bit of a better. And also I gotta remind myself to change my internet carrier, the Wi-Fi and all that, to a cable company, which would then give us a tremendously better resolution. I don't know how it looks to you at the other end with you guys, but I suspect I don't have enough bandwidth to have a good quality live streaming, but I will get to it. Ross says, do you agree? Okay, we got that one. Sorry, I'm redoing it. Juliana says, hello, hello dear. Good to see you here. Jesus says, hello Mehran. Good to see you. 21 male from Spain. Hola, ¿cómo estás? I hope it makes sense to you. I think it's a bit of a Spanish and Italian mixed. No, Majid, I'm not touching any of the settings. Okay, sure, Majid. Majid says, can I ask a question? No books promise. Okay, it's a short question. Go for it, Majid. DHML says, video quality is fine here, but can't speak for other places that are far away. Aha. Okay, at least that's good news. David says the storage space on your computer shouldn't affect the internet connection. Just the internet service provider. Yeah, I believe you're absolutely right. But it just reminded me of when I see this kind of white wheel turning and I'm frozen while I look at myself. It's frozen here. Nothing is moving. I hope that I'm at least kind of moving at your ends, but here it looks frozen. So when I see that, it kind of reminds me to talk about it. Otherwise, yeah, you're absolutely right. Ross says, also I was wondering, how is it possible to focus at university without being distracted by all the beautiful girls? Sometimes I'm motivated and get on with my studies, but then I will see a group of attractive girls or done with other guys, gone maybe with other guys, and no, I don't have that, and it sucks, haha. Well, you know, I prefer to be in a garden where I may not be able to get close to the flowers, but there are flowers. And I focus on the fact that I am in a place where there are flowers. I don't necessarily think I should have those flowers in my hands or be able to be close with them, or they pay too much attention to me before I can appreciate the circumstance, the luck that I have, the fortune that I have to be in a pleasant environment. So you focus on the things that you have instead of focusing on the things that you want and you don't have. And instead focus on the things that you don't want and you don't have. And that helps a lot. Now, as far as being in a university and being distracted with beautiful girls, well, that's a blessing. Did you wish to be somewhere that there were no girls? Or did you wish not to be distracted with girls? It is a pleasant feeling at that age, and you should be distracted, but enjoy that distraction. Don't necessarily wish for having, owning, possessing anything that you seem desirable or beautiful. Just be there with them. You're in the same universe, in the same country, in the same campus, in the same, perhaps, classroom. And then focus on your studies, accomplish something, make something out of yourself. Believe me, when you least expect it, the opportunity arises. And there will be possibilities for you to meet the girls that you might have been interested in, or you never thought you'd be interested, and you find yourself very interested due to your connection and discussions and exchange of ideas, exchange of energy and content of the consciousness. All of that will happen. But if you want to have them all in the same setting at the same time frame, then that would become a little bit cumbersome. Bring your expectations down to day-to-day happenings and be thankful for the wonderful opportunities and the good things that are happening in your day, and the rest of it will accumulate and will happen to you, will open its doors. But if you constantly focus on what you don't have, that's all you will be seeing, and it will become anxious. You'll become anxious, dissatisfied, because you have trained yourself to constantly look at the things that you want and you don't have. That grade I want, that class I don't want and I have it, that girl I want to get to know, I don't, that food, that money, that car. So you're conditioning yourself to constantly look for things that you don't have and things that you wish you had, and you will lose the whole idea of focusing on the things that you do have, the things that you love to have and you have them, the luck and opportunities that you have. You miss all the point of being alive is to focus on the things that are going well for your life, the opportunities that you have, the things that you want and you have them, and the things that you don't want and you don't have them. This is how you should think. And the rest, you have no control on them. Let's see. Just for now, enjoy seeing the fact that you're in a university with that many beautiful girls, and then don't try too hard. Just focus on your life and your studies, and the opportunity will arise when you become less focused on what you want and focus on how you can be part of the whole thing. You know, contribute, do something good, not for the fact of luring some relationship. Just do good, do stuff. The rest will happen. That's all I have to say about that. All right. And Majid says, let's finish Majid's thing so it can continue. Majid says, I've stopped going to the gym, to the same gym as my ex, and kept away from people toxic as I'm job hunting, but finding it difficult to keep busy and feel lonely. Oh, that wasn't Majid, that was Ross. So, sorry, let's go back to Ross then. Okay, so we finished with Ross. Okay, then we go to Stefan. Stefan says, Mehran, how can I stop comparing myself to the person my ex slept with? She claimed it was her best she ever had and was able to reach new pleasure with this person. We're over now and I'm single. What kind of measuring stick is that? That you think, because I'm just going to go a little overboard but want to deliver something. You think because somebody liked some low quality or a different quality or bitter tasting vegetable, or bitter tasting vegetable is not that bad actually. Who knows? A bitter I don't. Maybe if somebody who likes vomit, why would that make you think that that person that she has chosen, who who she might have chosen someone who is just useless, but she likes that? Why would that preference of her indicate that you are less than, or not as good as, or not better than the one that she has chosen? What makes you think she has the secret to evaluate you by her choices? What about if you think, well, her choices are below standards and you're above standards? Have you not noticed some people simply have bad taste? But just because you like the person, then you think her taste and choice is also in quality better than what you like, or in this case you like her for whatever reason, God knows. But that doesn't mean her choices, wisdom, intelligence, taste is of any consequence to what level and what quality you are, or the things that you like. Should not be compared to that. You're the one who compared that because you have thought, you have brought about your own thinking that she, whatever she does, even if she sticks her finger in her nose, to you, that's classy. Why? Not because she's classy, because you want something from her, which is attention, affirmation, pleasure, and you know that she is capable of delivering pleasure, intimacy, sexual pleasure, and you like that, obviously. Therefore, because she is in control of what you like, you think she's better than you. Therefore, her choices in anything, in this case, this guy, would represent a certain kind of a standard. And if her choice is that is better in her opinion, then you believe it and you think that means that guy is better than you. Maybe she gets pleased in certain ways that is just another girl doesn't even care about. And another girl likes you and the way you are intimate with her. Why would you think that she would be setting a standard for how a lovemaking or intimacy should be according to what she prefers? Many other women would prefer you, possibly. So the fact that you think her words means anything is because you want something from her. Therefore, you think she's important. You see, the importance of people is depending on your need and desire for them. People are important to you based on your desire and your need of them. That could be need for some business relationship, some money you can make. It could be need for something they're selling. If you're in an ice cream shop and you're in line to wait to buy ice cream and everybody's buying ice cream, suddenly the ice cream man, the ice cream clerk seems so important, an authority figure, to the point that if somebody faints right there in the store, many may be looking at the ice cream guy, who is just an ice cream guy, scoops ice cream, but is in a position of authority because he's in control of what you want, he's in control of the ice cream. Suddenly it seems like an important person, and they look to him to say what to do with this person who fainted, as if he's a doctor now. So what I'm trying to say is that when you arrive to your turn to buy ice cream, you will not see the man as a man possibly with some or no education. You don't know, I'm just going in this because I want to deliver a point. You don't see the man, you see the position and what the man is in control of, which you need. You want the ice cream, he's in control of it, therefore he's an important figure. But if you didn't need the ice cream and you see the guy outside and you talk with the guy, you find out, or you decide, conclude, the guy has got no special wisdom, intelligence, or education, or of any use to you. Yeah? So the importance of people is based on what you need from them, what they can do for you, or what you desire. In this case with your ex-girlfriend, well, she's important to you because you desire and you need something from her that she's in control of. That's the intimacy, the feeling, and all that, so forth. So if you see them for who they are, not based on what you need and what they are in control of that you want, then you can see the true value of a person that is really important or not. Now, I'm still frozen on my page here. I don't know what's going on. All right. Majid says, I have stopped going to the gym as my ex and kept away, I guess, as to keep the ex and other toxic people away, as I'm job hunting but finding it difficult to keep busy and feel lonely. I know you say do things, but I do, but I still feel alone. Well, listen, you feel alone because you haven't felt how wonderful it feels when you're actually giving yourself tasks that are productive, that has a place to go, things you want to accomplish, and you're constantly trying to do something, but your mind is not where your body is. Your mind is still thinking about that, whatever it is that you're thinking. So therefore you have caused the mind and body separation. When the mind and body are separated, then you're not really focusing on what your body wants to do. Even if you're in the gym and you're doing the weights and you keep thinking about her, you're ruining your time. It's no different than you're trying to have a dish in front of you, and while you're having this, you keep thinking about how delicious or what it was, the food that you had 2 weeks ago at certain place. Well, you won't be able to focus on this food. You won't be able to appreciate it. You won't be able to understand the importance of it. You won't be able to, get the full effects of the nutrition in it, because your mind is now turned into not fully appreciating this with all the good energy, and you have separated your mind from your body that is here to eat. And same thing you're doing here. Whatever you do in your gym or anything else around your day, if you constantly be thinking about your ex, you're not focusing. You're not giving yourself your energy chance to fully focus and be submerged in what you're doing, to give yourself that break, that relaxation, that rejuvenation, that hopefulness, and that happiness that you're accomplishing something. Instead, you'll be saying, oh yeah, I miss her. So you're constantly mourning, and that becomes your conditioning. Because you keep doing that, you get into a cocoon that you start hating yourself, because you would be the center of misery, because you command all these negativity, unhappiness, dissatisfaction constantly brew over you. No matter what you're doing, you're thinking about her. So after a while, you start liking to spend time with yourself. And then you stop going to the gym, you stop doing the things that you like, because you never fully focused mind and body on that what you were doing. So bring that focus back, bring your mind from being scattered all around, bring it back to where your body is, and focus mind and body together on what you're trying to do, whether it's sports or studies or whatever it is, and you will see the difference in your mood as well. Well, I'm sure you have my book, Me, My Psyche and I, which has a big chapter on meditation and how to learn focus. And you need to do that as part of your daily life. Just as you get up and wash your teeth and clean up and have your tea or whatever it is that you do for breakfast, well, have 5 minutes or 10 minutes of meditation. And in that way, you're conditioning your mind to become more in sync with the energy of the universe, to recognize how not alone you are, how one you are with all, and how powerful it can be, and that you're connected to the source of the energy that constantly flows throughout the universe and flows through you, and you feel the confidence of it that gives you lots of hope and ability to know that you can do things and you can get over this, and there's a lot more awaiting you, and that you can accomplish in life rather than just this X thing based on pleasure, intimacy, sex, and pretty much nothing else it does for you at this point. All right. Prehistoric Hunter. That's the first time you're here, aren't you? He says, what are you thinking about? Men go their own way of life. Well, to each his own. What do you want me to say? Jesus says, 21, male from Spain. Going through my breakup, I feel sometimes like I'm in a roller coaster of feelings. I can be okay and then feel terrible and then fine again. Is this normal? Yes, of course it's normal. And how do I deal with it? Nothing. Just focus on life. You're focusing on a dead happening of an event, of an experience. And you're trying to bring that dead happening to life, and you want to pick only the good parts of it and find security in all those good memories of that relationship, which are all dead. So your life, the way you look at it and what you're really wallowing and missing, is a dead experience. And with that dead experience, you want to live. So the life that you're calling life is really death of the past. You should get out of that. You should understand, by being in your memory, that is one way of creating certain kind of a security for your mind, but your mind would enjoy it much better to be making, producing life, rather than wallowing on the dead part of life, the memory. Your mind wants to be active in the happenings. So be fully focused on every moment of your day and be one with the happenings of the moment. Focus total attention on what is happening every moment in your life, and therefore naturally, because of your focus being on your life and making life happen, you will not remember the nonsense that you're bothered by. Because naturally, as long as you keep looking this way, this is what you will see. But once you start focusing on this way, this naturally won't be in your field of vision, and you'll be seeing this, which could be the ocean of hope and possibilities. And that's what you should be focusing on. Now, Stefan says, Mehran, your power level is over 9,000. Well, okay. On that note, there's 16 of us here. If you will, if you're enjoying the live talk, please click on like right now before you forget, because that helps us to be put on the map a little bit more, which we are still invisible to the eyes of the YouTube algorithm. And don't forget to promote the videos that you like on your social media, and visit my site, mindthatseekstruth.com, and pick up the book Me, My Psyche and I. The printed book is expensive because it's heavy, 360 pages, but I've turned them all into ebooks. So the $80 US, that is the price of that book, is turned into $5.99 in ebook version. That's because I want everybody to own it, to have it as a reference in your library and refer to it whenever you feel like it. It's not a storybook, so you can read different chapters at different times. Look at the table of contents, see what fancies you, and then check that out. Short chapters, easy reading, unsophisticated writing. So I hope that you will give that gift to yourself and have it there. Definitely that's not to make me rich, because it's very diminished in price, but it is something that I want everybody to have, no matter which country you are from and what currency you use. It'll be very affordable. All right. Kazi Tuta says, Mehran is power. Okay, great. Thank you. And Joris Radzevics says, it was going really well since breakup, but last days are really hard. Thought about her and so on. Yeah, you thought about her, and what did you gain? In your thoughts, what is it that this mystery girl brings for you that you're really so devastated that the day it ruins your day, or has a lot to do with the quality of your day, as you say? What you remember the benefits of that relationship? First of all, it's broken relationship, so there is no benefit, no matter what part of it you think, and in your memory you go and you find pleasantry of that time. That is a dead memory. That there is no reality to it. That relationship, if it was as good as you think it was or remembered it was, it would still be together. The fact that you guys are not together, it means it wasn't working. If something is not working, you can't be lingering by. Look, if you have a car and it breaks down and you try to fix it and you take it to mechanics and it doesn't get fixed, why are you still sitting in it? It's not going anywhere. Why are you going to be sitting and say, oh, it's such a good car? No. You recognize that it's not going to get you anywhere, no matter how wonderful it was at one time. You're going to go get another car, get on a bus, or somehow to get to your destination. You will stop thinking about that car, right? But in this case, a relationship that wasn't good because it broke up eventually and you guys couldn't fix it. So naturally, it broke up and you guys are separated. But you still keep thinking about it. What good does it do? Other than conditioning you to live in your memory, which is a dead event. So you're turning your living, happening life and sitting in a corner and turning into death of the past. You wallow in there and you think you're progressing. Being in something that doesn't exist is not going to end up getting you anywhere that you can be somebody, enjoy something, real, be one with the flow of the energy of the universe. You have to understand that. So what is it that you gain by thinking about her? What? The memory that doesn't exist? Would you sit down and think, yeah, I'm hungry, I want an apple. So you start thinking, an apple in my hand. Ah, 2 weeks ago I had an apple in my hand. Apple in my hand. Oh, how tasty it was. Are you going to get full? Is it going to do anything for you? No. You're just thinking about something that no longer exists, the apple. You're going to fool yourself, an apple, and condition yourself to eventually think that there's an apple in your hand, but you can't eat it, and it's not going to do you any good. No benefit coming from it. So why do you do that? Just like the apple, recognize this relationship is broken. Is no longer reality. Why should I waste time on it? No, I want to go really in the store and find a good apple. And then you can enjoy the real benefits of the apple. A real benefits of a good relationship. Go, do your life, do your things, accomplish, build, bring good energy, confidence. You will meet other people, other women. You will get to know each other and see where that goes. That's real. What broke up? So what? I know it's difficult, maybe because you keep focusing on that intimacy, pleasure, and all the things that made you feel like, oh, I'm a man, I'm good, I'm more, I'm better than the others because I have her. Now suddenly she is the symbol of you being good or bad, being better than the others or not. Who died and left her in charge of that? You have to understand. You got to be realistic. Otherwise, you'll always be living in your memory and not with the reality and the actuality of life, which is that's why we're here for. That was an experience, and now you move on to other experiences, but real experiences. Christina VC says, hi Mehran, female 25, New York City. I think that's what it is, NYC. It's hard for me to fall asleep quickly at night. I can be tired before going to bed, but my mind keeps working, thinking about many things. How can I stop it? Thanks. Well, you know when you're riding your bicycle and you're going fast, then you're not pedaling? Does it stop? No, still coasting because it's got an inertia. Keeps going, keeps going, keeps going, keeps going. But you eventually fall asleep, don't you? That's when the speed of that inertia comes to 0, because it eventually does. So between the time you want to sleep, between when you stop pedaling to the point that you fall asleep, to the point that the bike stops, that part is what you're concerned with, what's not letting you sleep, the inertia. So what are the ways to stop this coasting? One is to hit the rock, a rock, boom, everything stops, right? Which in the translation for it would be for you to start thinking about some kind of a extraordinary situation that has nothing to do with the pattern of your thinking during the day. Something way out 20 years ago that you can remember. Give a shock to your memory that is keep thinking about the daily event or the past week or today's event while you're trying to, the inertia, you break the inertia by thinking about something way out there which takes you away from the movement of the day, the memories of the day or the past week. That's one way to hit the rock. And the other one is what? To guide your bike as it's going, you're not pedaling anymore, from the paved road into a sandy road. So it starts having a hard time to actually continue that movement. So what does it translate to? It means changing the speed of your thoughts, which means changing the focus on the topics that you are busy thinking about when you want to sleep. How? In my book, Me, My Psyche and I, there's a big chapter on meditation. One of the things that people many don't know, why is meditation there for? They think it's just to bring them tranquility, but they don't know how this happens. Look, the mind is very powerful, very capable. The neurons are constantly hitting and exchanging information, and all the functionings, all the exchange of signals, receptors are passing pulses between the two ends of the receptors of the synaptic neurons, and it's constantly exchanging information. So there's lots of activity in the mind. When you get physically tired, that physically the material process doesn't want to do it. It just has lost its energy and wants to rejuvenate its level of energy, replenish it, so there's a false sleep. Those are the times that you don't have any problem sleeping, because you had maybe a hard workout, or you just sit to watch a TV or something, you fall asleep. You have no problem those nights. But your problem is when naturally your day has been full and the neurons are constantly working, material process is constantly producing, the exchange of these chemicals are constantly going, and so you're fully active. There are lots of waves and ripples and activity in your mind. But when you want to sleep, just like when you want to park your bicycle, you slow down, you put on the brake, you bring the wheels from that fast turning, slow it down, and then it stops, and you then get off and park it. So the bicycle is no longer in motion. You don't just, while you're going speeding with your bicycle, you don't just jump off of it and have it parked. You slow it down, put the brakes on, eventually safely stops, you park it, and you go about your business. The mind the same. It's speeding like you cannot understand, and it's trying to help you to figure out things, doing its job, and the survival, the judgments, and everything that you need is processing. And suddenly when you want to sleep, you think it should, just because you went to bed, it should. It's like a dog. It's trying to take care of you no matter what. So it's not going to automatically sleep unless you've conditioned it to understand. And your mind and body coordination is good. So your body gets orders from your mind, and the mind and body are coordinated. So when you go to bed, it understands it's time to sleep, shuts down everything, and brings the level of ripples of your mind, the activities and the waves down. Just because you conditioned, you went into a condition of sleeping, it automatically now complies. But until that happens, you need to help it out. So when you meditate before sleeping, even if you're just lying in your bed and look at the corner of the room, which is a small point, and you bring that small point, you focus on it, and slowly close your eyes while you're looking at the small corner of the ceiling where the wall and the ceiling join. You look at that small corner, and you bring that small corner to your mind, and you slowly close your eyes, and then you begin your meditation by the ways that I've explained in that book. Or you can do breathing meditation, which is very simple, and I've explained in that book. So what it does, it decreases the ripples of your mind, the activity of your mind, to infinitely imperceptible decreasing ripples. which brings about the calmness, like putting the brake and slowing down, not pedaling, and then slowly putting the brake, and until the speed of the bike stops. In mind, it doesn't stop completely, because the only time that the waves of the brain stops is when we're dead. But you can, through meditation, bring all those activities to way, way lower level of activity and creation of the ripples through meditation. Once those ripples representing activities of the brain are reduced through the meditation, that's when you fall asleep, because the activities are no longer interfering with your command, with your wishes. They find they're no longer needed, and they're calm, like the surface of the lake. No waves, no happening, nothing to process, nothing to push out, nothing to keep in, and you fall asleep. So the key is to bring the ripples of your mind down, because the mind is full of activity during the day, and you have to show it it's time to not be active. You do that through meditation. Once the ripples are reduced to imperceptibly decreasing ripples, infinitely imperceptible decreasing ripples, the mind surface becomes as calm as a lake, with no wind, with no movement, no fish moving. The calm waters signals the night, and you'll sleep. That's the key to sleeping. Now, I feel sleepy. So let's see. I hope that's helpful for you, Christina. June says, hello Mehran, 33 male, Belgium. Bonjour, bonsoir. Comment ça va ce soir? And comment cover. What does that mean, June? Help me out here. Oh, ça va. Aha, comment, ça va? Okay, yeah, of course. Go ahead. June, where are you? Oh, comment ça va? Oh, je bien merci. Et vous? I was reading it in English. I couldn't. It's a comment cover. Comment ça va? Yeah, je bien merci. Hope you're well too. Well, I just came out of that sleeping moment that I was talking about, so obviously I couldn't be with it. Pet says, how can you still trust someone after a bad breakup? Why do you need to trust someone after you broke up with them? Let them go. The whole idea that you guys broke up was because you couldn't trust, you were in harmony. So I know that nobody is the same, but still, couldn't you be more reluctant? Well, you break with someone, it's gone. Why do you want to trust them? Obviously, just move on. And Petr says, P.S. Petr in Romanian is similar to Peter in English. Ah, okay, Peter. DHML says, frivolous question. Due to not going through my breakup at this time, but I'm here as a supporter. But what types of tea do you use? Well, recently, for the past year or so, I've been having herbal tea. And this particular tea, you know, I buy all kinds of tea, and then some of them I don't go through with them, like this one that I have here. I just noticed is laying around some. Then I read the ingredients, and I saw that it's not really for me. It's got coconut shell, it's got cocoa shells, organic cinnamon bark, organic carob, organic roasted chicory root, natural flavors, organic ginger root, organic licorice root, organic cocoa beans, organic black pepper, organic cloves, contains 85% organic ingredients. So it seems to me a little bit too sweet for me, I think, with all that, the carob and the stuff. I don't know. I might try it actually, and reading it again, it doesn't sound too bad. But cloves, I read on it, I'm not too keen on having cloves in my tea. So, before I always had Assam with cardamom for years. Tea always had a psychological effect on me. And I explained that once before to people who were interested in. That comes from my equestrian days. We had a very skillful master equestrian show jumping and dressage, a graduate of military school of riding in Saumur, France, who was one of the tops in the world, and we were fortunate to be a student. And he was also a great role model, like a father to all of us. I hardly ever called anybody like my father, but he was friend with my father. My father knew him, and he was a great man, a good role model, very strict, and a colonel in the army. And he was like a father to me. I learned a lot from him, and therefore, you know, we were fortunate to have him as our instructor. And he was really super tough, disciplined. And every time we had training, like 30, 40 kids, horses, all at the same time, trained in a very elaborate and disciplined manner. And we were all really good. We were not allowed to use any spurs or whips. We were just there to communicate with the horses. And he really taught us well. We won many competitions versus people who had $1 million horses, and we had just local horses. So we turned into real riders. But what I'm trying to get at is, after that heavy, strong, disciplined training of the day, then he would call on the people who would be taking care of the stables or the kitchen of the club. He would ask them to bring tea for the ones who did well. Everybody would get tea, but he would call by name in a certain way. For example, when he would say, so-and-so, bring tea for Mr. Mehran, he would call us Mr. So that bringing tea, ordering tea for us, would represent that we have done good. He's satisfied with our performance. And the tea would represent an accomplishment, a certain good feeling. And because we were trained, heavily for competitions and all that, so this whole thing would happen often, the tea. So I'm conditioned to think of tea as a pleasant experience. Even if I don't drink it, when I was studying in university or my schooling stuff, even if I wasn't going to drink it, but having a tea beside me would give me a good feeling. So I used to have Assam with cardamom and any kind of black tea, oolong, Chinese tea, Indian tea, all kinds, Ceylon. But then eventually last year I stopped drinking black tea and I'm drinking herbal tea. So it could be anything. Today it's my favorite is pomegranate, raspberry, hibiscus and stuff like that. So it's quite delicious. Small question, long answer. That's my middle name. I hope that's a satisfactory answer, DMHL. I feel like I'm talking to computer, HTML. What's your name? Throw me a name. David says, hey, so I met up with this girl and we decided to meet since I'm from UK and she's from Germany. Oh, wow. and we had an awesome time, and told me, like, told awesome time and told we like okay, and told we like each other, but now she never has time to text me. We're both 19. Listen, at 19, so many things happens in your head during the day. You're obviously, both of you at that age, everybody is not quite confident of themselves. They need affirmation, and you needed her attraction, her attention, her affirmation, being attracted to you and you being attracted to her, to feel good about yourself. And she felt the same. But then again, the next day, she may not have that shortcomings or that need, because there are other things, or maybe other boys that is close enough, close proximity. When you guys don't feel so great about yourselves, you tend to, I don't know, do crazy things, get on the train and go to Germany to meet some girl which you don't know nothing about, just enough from internet, from, you know, chatting, which you can do the same thing with the girls in England. I bet you there's so many amazing girls in England. I've been to England when I was much younger, and I know there's so many beautiful girls. And of course, I've been to Germany too, many times, and I know there's so many beautiful girls in Germany as well. They're everywhere. But the fact is that you make connection to one and you think then there's nothing else exists. But then you go and meet each other, and the whole novelty and the fact that, oh, it was a big you know, anomaly, and that is kind of settled down. And then you can see other things, and then you come to your senses that it's not really practical. Every time I want to see her, what? Gonna get on the train, go to Germany, or she gets on the train, comes to England? That's not really that, you know, or plane in this case. It's not really that practical. So if she doesn't have time, it's because she's got other friends. And you know, girls, it's much easier for them to find people interested in them, guys interested in them, than we guys are. You know, because guys, heterosexual male is programmed for procreation, programmed to like a girl regardless if the girl has made anything out of herself. Just the fact that she looks good, to us, each person has a different standard, the fact that you feel that way about a female makes her desirable. But that doesn't explain if she's actually suitable for you, because you know nothing of her. You're just responding to your program in your genes. But you think that response is an evidence that she's qualified and she's compatible with you. She's not. Because what makes her qualified, compatible or not, is it's in her head, which you have nothing to do with and you know nothing about. And she hasn't shown that to you. So your reaction or response, your interest, attraction towards her, is got none of her doing. You have to understand that. So that's why it's easier for girls to have many other guys attracted to them. But when they get to know each other, it may not work. For us, it's not that easy. The girls are not attracted to us merely because how we look. It has something to do with it, but they become really serious when you guys actually start interacting and your minds, conditionings, consciousness, thoughts start building a relationship. And because of that, it's not as easy as it is for us to be attracted to a girl, for a girl to be attracted to us. It's a longer process. So in other words, they choose better than we do. So in this case, she may be surrounded with lots of guys or lots of opportunities for her. She thinks, because they're attracted to her, she thinks, oh, then it's a possibility that they're a good catch for her either. This is also a disadvantage for girls, because they're bombarded with so many attention and they think all this attention means they're all good candidates. No, they're not, because we're programmed to be attracted to you. Not that we're attracted to you because we're really hitting it off with you. That will be known later. So the girl should not be so naive either. Just because she's being approached or being paid attention to by other guys, that doesn't mean she's going to be having a good rapport with those other guys, and it would be a reason for her to think that, well, I should break up with this one that is, I know already is so nice and good. But that's what they think, and that's a mistake. So when they get older, then they realize certain things that they don't realize now. So don't worry about it. It's natural, it's normal. You guys go up and down and change your minds several times a day, including you. Tomorrow you may like another girl. And because you're programmed to like girls based on their physical attributes, and then later on find out if they're qualified or not, contrary to what you think, which as soon as you see you're attracted to them, you think they're also qualified, you may tomorrow and find some other girl that you like, and you will forget that one. At this age, this is normal. This constantly happens. So try to find somebody close by so you can at least have a chance to communicate and bond on consciousness level. Otherwise, these long distance relationships are just meeting here and there and far in between, and it's not going to help you guys to bond on consciousness level. It's just going to be on certain kind of illusion, fantasy, and intimacy, hopefulness, and all that which you're programmed for. Otherwise, no real substance to build a relationship on. A relationship, it takes time, and that's because of the interaction and getting to know each other thoroughly, not on physical level, but on conscious level. So don't worry about it. It's okay. Excalibur says, I spotted you live just in time, Mehran. It's cold tonight, so I grabbed a hot drink and got in bed. Okay. Cozy. Hot drink and cold. In here is also cold at nights, and it's really nice to, maybe watch a movie or have a warm drink and tea, possibly, and of course watch my videos and help the channel to grow. And he says, and enjoying the stream of consciousness from the Jedi Master Suzuki Mehran. Thank you. Thank you, Excalibur. Fritsch, Juli, Fritsch. Is it German name? Juli, must be Julie. Let's see. Hello, Mehran. Good to see you live. I'm 26-year-old from Germany. Okay. You forgot to tell me you're man or woman. I think it's a woman, Juli, but I'm not sure. Maybe it's short for a man's name. So, don't forget, guys, where you guys tuning in from, how old you are, and your gender. Juliana says, hello, 26, Brazil. We suffer cause of attachment, how to deal this and with the unknown and fresh new life of every moment. How to enjoy and not be afraid. How not being trapped in the past. How not to be trapped in the past is by focusing on the now, by being aware of the now, by being active in the now, by making efforts in the now, by creating the happenings in the moment of the now. That naturally brings your total focus and attention to the now, which naturally doesn't let your focus be on that thing. It's like when I'm fully focused here, naturally, I don't see this other corner of the room. Instead of saying, how can I forget this corner of the room by keep looking at it? I can't forget about this corner of the room by keep thinking about it, watching it, analyzing it. I can only do that if I'm focused on doing, creating new things, watching a different angle, different direction, and that is going to be processing in my mind. And that is the starting point, an important one, in order to not being trapped in the past. In other words, when you look at an orange tree, instead of suddenly your eyes contacts with the orange tree, recognizes a tree, so far so good. It's an orange tree, so far so good. It's an orange on it, so far so good. The leaves are green, so far so good. You're with the orange tree. There is no difference between you and the orange tree, both on the same time and space, and you are interacting with that, what it is real in front of you. But as soon as you say, ah, an orange tree looks like the orange tree I had at my auntie's place. The oranges there were a little bit more yellow, or maybe it was different orange, and suddenly you're no longer here with this orange tree. You're in that orange. You're perceiving rather than actually observing, which brings separation between you, the observer, and the observed, the orange tree. And suddenly, no longer you are here, and your life turns into a second-hand life. Why? Because you're not benefiting from this interaction right here at this moment. You're now gone into memory in the past, but yet you're recording this interaction in some ways. And a few days later, when maybe you see another orange tree, you will be remembering this as well as the other ones. And now, a few days later, you're remembering your experience today. And that means you're always behind the 8 ball. The orange tree that you're facing a few days from now will not also be recorded in fully of your interaction with it, because you would be perceiving this one and the other one, and that one would be maybe some other time you will think about it. You will always be one step behind. But if you fully focus on the actual thing that you're in contact with, or in front of, or you're dealing with, and observe that, be one with that, be in connection with that, interaction with that, focus on that, analyze that on its own, and then you're living life firsthand. So that's one thing you want to accomplish. And of course, your answer is in many other videos. We have now over 1,200 videos on this channel that if you go in and, I don't know, key in the past, or perception, or perceiving, the now, future, and you will get videos coming. Now, your other thing was how to enjoy and not be afraid. Again, if you're with the moment from moments are just very small portion of time. And in that small portion of time, if you're fully focused and present in the moment, there is no time for anything to happen. There is no time for fear to happen, because fear happens when you're not in the moment. Fear happens, there's no such thing as fear. You are the fear. You are the fear because you create the fear. Otherwise, fear, there's no such thing as fear. What I mean is this: fear happens when you compare what it was to what it is and what it could be. That's when the fear happens. Yesterday, I had a headache. Now, I'm okay. I wonder if I will have it tonight. So that creates anxiety and possibility when you compare the time. First of all, when you think about, I had a stomach ache before, you know it's not now. So let's say we don't know day or night. Before, you know it's not night. Before now, you had stomach ache. Could be last night. Then you say, I don't have it now. You create a time. Time is created now. How do you know what the time is? But you create a time by thinking about the effects of something with you, which that effect, it no longer exists, or it's worse now. You compare the two effects. I had a stomach ache last night. It's less now. You create a time. And then I wonder if I will have it tonight, or if it'll be okay tomorrow. Now you create a time. And comparing how you were in that time that you created creates fear. So fear is created when you create events from one space and time to the next. So, which means there is no reality to fear. It's only when you create it in your head how it was, how it could be, how it is, and how it could be. Then you artificially create something that, and your mind is always programmed to look for trouble. And that trouble that you create in your mind in order to save yourself, to protect yourself, is part of causing that fear. So if you focus on every moment and be active in every moment, there's so little time from moment to moment that nothing has a chance to, no fear is chance to be created. Nothing bad can happen that you can know of, you can think of. You're just busy living, and therefore it would be fearless, less. There would be no chance for you to compare things in order to create fear or wonder and be fearful about the effects of it on your life and so on and so forth. When you are with the now, there is no chance for you to wonder what the neighbor is going to think about the fact that saw you, I don't know, brushing your teeth yesterday, or walking your apartment, I don't know, with different clothes on, or something that you didn't want them to see. So, but if you're with the now, there is no chance for you to wonder what the society is going to think of your behavior, which was contrary to what the conditioning of the society was yesterday in the market. When you constantly worry about such opinions that you're conditioned to give importance to, that they're the currency for your valuation, since childhood you're programmed that the opinion of people is what makes you valuable or not, accepted or not, who you are or not. All these are the reasons for your fears. Otherwise, there is no fear. These are all based on the conditionings you've received, that now you're wondering about it, worrying about it. Am I scoring enough points in the eyes of the neighbor, the society, the market, my credit? Did my check bounce? Did the money that I have there, I went to buy this apple, I didn't have money. What did they think of me? All of these are what you're ending up with if you're not focused on the now. But if you're focused on the now, you don't give a shit about any of them. You're just doing your best, and there would be no chance for fear to appear. Again, if you go on my channel and type in fear, and I did a seminar at the local university called The End of Fear. And if you go on the channel and type in The End of Fear, you will have that seminar. It's about 58 minutes or so. And there are interesting things in there. That fear is thought. Fear is based on your thinking. There's a relationship between thinking, thoughts, and fear. And you might want to look at that video, the video that they made at the university when I was invited there to do that for that class. So, and the rest of it, the next one says cause of attachment. Okay, the suffering is cause of attachment, you say. Well, yes, but why? Why attachment is the cause of suffering? Let's look a little bit further. It's not the attachment necessarily, while it has a lot to do with it as well. Not dissing that at all. But I want you to pay attention to another point in here too. We can be attached to almost anything. I can be attached to this teacup. I have tea here. But this tea is temporary. The suffering starts when I want to turn a temporary to permanent. Then that's when the suffering starts. Otherwise, if I don't want to turn a temporary to permanent, there's no suffering. There's something that happens in my life. Let's say I taste this first time, and I'm, oh, wow, that's joy. But then my thinking says, I want more of this. My thought says, I want more of this. So I want to turn that into a continuous event, which it turns into pleasure. Now I'm having it all the time. So it's a pleasure now. It's no longer joy. Joy was the first time. I've turned joy into pleasure by scheduling it, having it to continue. Now it's no longer joy. And the thought wants to make it to be continuously happening. And then the memory wants to keep the pleasure alive even when the pleasure is gone. So you end up living in your memory in pursuit of pleasure, and that's where you become attached. Because you want the pleasure to continuously stay. There is no way for it other than in your memory, because pretty much eventually it moves on. If it's alive, or if it's limited, it ends. Like a movie you go and you watch, it's joy, the idea of going to the movie. You go to the movie, it starts and you enjoy it, then you go and see it again, it's a pleasure, then you want to keep remembering it to keep the pleasure, because you want it to turn the temporary into permanent. That's when the suffering starts. That's a different way that I discussed it in the past, but it's a fresh way of looking at it. Anyhow, I hope it makes sense to you. And now we go to, again, I have a video on that regarding pleasure, so you may want to search it. It's over 1,200 videos now. I really don't know what I have said, what I have done, what I know or not, but it's there. Lots of videos are there. Oh, I see someone from Oregon. I went to school in Portland. Living my best life, 29 Oregon. So let's see where we were. Excalibur said, I realized Mehran means rain of kindness in Farsi. Does it? I didn't know that. I remember that long time ago I found out, I didn't know what my name had a meaning or not. I asked my father, and he said, my name means the sun. I said, okay. Okay, I'll take that. It means rain of kindness, yes, because mehr, it means kindness. So perhaps that end of it brings the kindness, and the rest of it, I don't know where the rain comes from, but okay, great, thank you. Juliana says, I was sad, then I had an insight. I stopped and knew it was a creation, that the event was already past. We can create with our mind and materialize here. What to co-create now? Deal with what it comes. Yes. Deal with the hand that you're dealt with. That's the only thing we can do. Champion says, how many languages do you speak, sir? Well, not that many. I know little bits and pieces from here and there. I speak Farsi, Persian. I speak English. I know a little bit of French, a bit of German, a little bit of Russian, a little bit Japanese, but these are nominal amounts. Enough to introduce myself, greet someone, have some food, order some things, ask direction, small things like that. Excalibur says, what Asian countries did you visit so far? Of course, lived in Iran, Persia. I have visited Turkey when I was a child. I don't remember much or anything about it. I think we were traveling from Germany, from Europe, back to Iran by automobile with my family, and I was a very little child. I visited Japan. I've seen Hong Kong. That's as far as Asian countries go. And which is my favorite Asian country? Japan. I like that discipline. I like that respect, politeness, cordial behavior. I like that awareness of the others, respecting the environment. I like that whole samurai mentality, which I seem to be gravitating toward. I enjoy that era. Okay. Yuris says, have you been so hurt in the past that you decided to help others now? I've been hurt in the past, of course I have, but that hasn't been the motivation, because before I was hurt, I still wouldn't have stopped if I could help someone in my youth. But if you're talking about the relationships and where the motivation of it to get into it and help people in this way, that's a different story. That's when my son broke up with his girlfriend. And we started talking about it. And he told me, you know, the stuff that you talk about, Dad, is very helpful. And so, so I started with 2 videos about divorce. When I, you know, experienced divorce. And I discussed how a man and woman after divorce should focus on the quality of interaction with each other, how they should interact in front of their child after divorce, and what are the protocols between man and woman after divorce, and how they should approach it. And that started helping people, and I added to it when boys and girls break up, and how they feel and how they should deal with that, and so on and so forth. And then it started becoming bigger and bigger, and of course years of research into work of masters of 100 years ago about the psyche, thought, consciousness, how thought comes to be, how is consciousness put together and comes to be, what is desire, how is it born, what is fear, where does fear come from, what about ego, and the role of all these in the way we feel, act, and react and negotiate our day-to-day life. So I researched thousands and thousands, pretty much thousands of hours, years, to understand, absorb, analyze, and combine it with my studies in university in understanding the movement of mind, energy of the universe, energy of the nature, in harmony with ours. Where does our energy comes from? The role of our energy and relationship between our mind and body, and relationship between our energy and the universal energy, and understanding the coordination of mind and body, and combining it with the years of research of the masters of 100 years ago. I am now able to bring about helpful hints and discussions to help you guys and anybody else who is going through breakup, but using the breakup forum is a kind of a trick that I use in order to introduce understanding of your psyche. My whole purpose is for you to understand what is the role of thought and consciousness, fear, desire, and ego, pleasure. How do they interact? How you're put together by understanding these, and where do they come from? How do they affect you? And in order to deliver that, I use what is most common about everyone in the world, in their emotions, which is breakups, relationships. So the real purpose is not just getting you move on to bigger and better things after your breakup. The real purpose is for you to know about how you're put together. What are you all about? Then you can use that knowledge for everything in your life, not just the breakup. So, hope that is something that would answer your question. CN says, hello, does young relationships last, and does any relationship last? Young relationships, you mean from the age of 17, 18, 19, 20, and so on? Truthfully and realistically, no. They're there for you to learn about each other, about relationships, about how you feel, about how the other person feels, about what is involved in a relationship, what are the challenges, what are the things you got to learn. It's like practice sport before the competition starts. You get to know it. You get to handle, you know, the rules of the game, handle the ball, the soccer, the basketball. You become, it comes second nature, and then you will be better at it and understand it better, and then you can make better moves, better understanding, better delivery, better interaction, and, you know, smoother game. That's what it is. Now, as far as if it's ever lasts, some do. Some do. And the reason for that is that because you're not having a relationship with two physical entities. These physical entities may be interested in each other physically, aesthetically, but what makes them each tick is what's in their consciousness. And that consciousness is what the relationship is based on. And the fact that the consciousness is always evolving on a daily basis, even if the same event happens, when it bounces to each person's consciousness, the two couple, it bounces back and reflects the canvas of the consciousness on each person differently, that same event. Because the canvas of each consciousness is already made differently, so what falls into it to be absorbed, to be analyzed, to reflect, and to interact with will have a different response. And therefore, the residual and imprint of it will be different. So the consciousness would be evolving as they live together, they go on. So if they don't have enough interaction and enough exchange to bring more compatibility to their understanding of the events, even though differently affected them, then they would end up having, again, distance, more and more distance between their consciousness, unless they're really involved in discussions and exchange of those ideas and analyzing it, and be aware of these changes, so it's not a shock to them that, oh, that person no longer respects me or likes me. No, it's because he's a different individual. His consciousness is being affected differently by the same events that is actually coming to you, and you're experiencing it. By understanding these, then it can last longer. That's what I have to say about that. Carpe Diem says, good to see you again. Good to see you too as well, Carpe Diem. No notification once again. YouTube is not consistent with notification. Yeah, I guess they mess up. Surely. I don't know how they work, because obviously I should at least have, you know, I don't know, 1,000 viewers out of the 15,000 subscribers. But I doubt it if out of that many, only 18 people want to see me. Or maybe that's the case. I don't know. Now, make sure you guys like the live streaming, if you will, before you forget. And Excalibur says, okay, I have a real question. Oh, you mean so far it was just for fun? I have a real question, actually. Haha, okay. How different are your interests now compared to when you were in your 20s? And is it possible for a person in their 20s to connect with interests of an older? Yes, because the older, what you see is a physical older, but in his mind, the canvas of his consciousness may have many facets to it. And if he wants to connect with it, he has lots of younger interpretations of life still in there, depending on what the situation is. So yes, you can connect with someone older, but if you're talking about in relationships, that's a different story. In most often depends on the circumstance and what you're looking for in a partner that may or may not be available in a much older woman for you, or maybe it is. But again, because there's combination of things that is at works. It's not just the consciousness part, it's also the physical part, and all of that has a lot to do with it. But if you're talking in general about the consciousness bonding, and you're talking in general about people and their age and so on, yeah, it is possible that you can connect with someone older. In relationship, depends how much older, because then after a certain point it'll be very difficult, regardless of how you got to consider the physical age as well as the mental age and experiences. Now, as far as how different I am, my interests are compared to when I was 20, well, of course, I still remember the stuff that I was interested in 20, and I'm still interested pretty much the same stuff, but with a different level of, it's like saying, what is the level of your interest in playing chess when you were 20 and now? Well, it's still maybe more. So I love life even, maybe I'm more aware of life even more now. But I play the chess in different level. I'm not limited to just few moves and few openings. I can see further in the game. I can prepare better. I can see what could be hazards and what could not. I could maybe plan better on the chess because I've played that game so far, and I'm more, knowledgeable about the game. So the same thing when you get older, it's like you've played that game and you've seen so many things that, it's like a captain on the sea. That if, the first year or two of your captain, navigating through the ocean, and then 20, 30 years later, obviously you can feel the boat and the ship. You don't wait for the actual weather change or the, obvious notions to change course or to make differences to keep the balance of your boat. You feel them, you see them, you smell them, you expect them. The changes, everything to you is one big signal. And so that is the major difference. That it's not necessarily pinpointed, but it's part of your mechanism. Becomes part of your mechanism. Now, No Manic says, I wonder, it's a sunny day, why the harbor is making such a, maybe their ships not seeing each other eye to eye, or want to make sure they don't. Mo Manic says, enough already with the beauty thing. I don't get you. Juliana says, yes, nice that you like tea. For you seems it's more like experience than about only the flavors. Good to know your history with tea and how it's important to you. Yeah, okay. Glad you enjoyed it. Living Best Life says, I see you. All right. I don't see you, but I see you're here. 29 Oregon. Yeah, I went to school in Lake Oswego, Portland. The MHL says, if you're focused on the now, then you don't give a shit about anything. Mehran, I'm gonna stitch on a pillowcase. Thank you for the great code. You're welcome. Cristobal. Why do you say Cristobal? Says, guys, the live stream is ending in 5 minutes. Why are you saying that? Because this man is heading to the cinemas to watch Venom. Oh, is Venom out now? Is that you're doing an advertisement for Venom? Is it a movie? Anyhow, I'm not heading anywhere. So Juliana says, thank you so much for the answer and your great sense of humor. Yes, I'll see the other videos after. Okay, good, Juliana. I'm glad that you... Well, Excalibur says, I agree, Mehran. Japan has a certain magic unique to it. It is my favorite too, but you know how I feel about Korean girls, so I'm in conflict. Yeah, okay, that's all right. So if I'm talking to a Korean girl, Korea, because my favorite, like a chameleon long. Okay, all right. And Majid says, what, haha, that ship noise. Yeah, okay. All right, guys. It turns out, okay, what Ross says, Mehran, what are you doing with the rest of your day? Let's see what time it is. Well, it's Saturday, 3:08. Pretty much, maybe I'll go for a walk, or I'll go to the gym, of course, in a few hours. But for the next few hours, I'll probably chill. I don't know, watch some events or news or something, make some tea. Excalibur says, Korea becomes my favorite. Okay, okay. And it's only been 47 minutes. 47 minutes. Well, guys, it looks like that we have run out of questions. I've answered all questions that we had here. It's time for me to mosey on out. DHML says, have you thought of opening a mailing box so viewers can send you items? Items? Like what? If you go on my site, mind@seekstruth.com, there is a place at the bottom of the page, or one of the pages, that some write me an email, and I have answered thousands of emails since we opened this channel. Thousands, and I mean thousands. I've typed in thousands elaborate responses, like actual consultation session, and I've done as much as I could. Soon though, all those emails, unfortunately or fortunately, because we need finances to get this channel to a different level, they will have a nominal fee attached to it. So then I can, instead of typing, I can hopefully record the answer and then upload it and send it to the sender, but there will be a nominal charge for it. But on YouTube, there's always a possibility for anyone to send a comment or maybe a message or something. They've always done that. I've had thousands and thousands of comments on all these videos, over 1,200 now, close to 1,300 and counting. And I've always responded to every single one. If one or two has slipped through, it has slipped through, but I haven't missed much, if any. So I wonder what item you have. So it's open, all that. DHML. It's a tongue twist. DHML, DMHL. And Excalibur says here, it says started 47 minutes ago. Oh, really? It's 1 hour and 40 minutes. Excalibur says, I'd send Mehran a car with horse wheels. Just send me the horse, don't need the car. Excalibur says, and a thank you letter for saving me from breakups in 2015. Delighted to do that. Juliana says, I think he's saying to send to your home. Ah, like letters or gifts. Some people do that, but don't know if it's safe. Well, I don't need any gift, you guys. I want the gift to be for you guys. So go on my site and purchase the ebooks. They're very nominal in charge, but they will give you something to enhance the quality of your understanding of your psyche, which will help the quality of your life. I am sure of that. Lots of good information in those books. Me, My Psyche, and I, 360 pages. Transient thoughts and me are the thoughts that appear in your head. You didn't invite them. You don't know what to do with them, where they come from. What do they mean? Do they define you? How to deal with them? How to manage them? And that's about 150, 160 pages. These are all explained there, but the ebook version is very cheap. You can get them all, and that would be helping the channel, and at the same time I would know that it is going to be helping you as well. Well, guys, again, thank you very much for your sharing your time with me and making it possible for me to share these things with you. And I love you all. Please be good to yourself and to the others. I look forward to talking to you again. Don't forget to share the videos that you like on your social media. Like the videos that you watch, and if you have connections with any mediums that they want to interview with me, like it's been done before with some other countries and some other media centers, I would welcome that, and they'll help us to be more visible on YouTube and help us to grow. So in the meantime, be good to yourself, to the others. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.